Why, hello there. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. My name is Mr. Dogweb333 and welcome back to Why Am I Looking at Russia? Hearts of Iron 4, the New Order, the Ruin as the United Kingdom. Now last time, we finished up our efforts in the House of Lords. Now we're figuring out where we want to go to next. And we might want to go ahead and work on some economic stuff, I'm thinking. Yeah, I think we'll go with Reichswerk Siemens and Co. With the collapse of the British Empire and the loss of great economic network, it's no surprise that following World War II our economy was a mess. Any growth we could have tied down in reconstruction reparations. Yet, as they always do, the Germans offered a helping hand in our autocratic state, and their corporations generously invested in our nation, helping our broken British industry rebuild. Yet, over the past 20 years, with their role in Reconstruction, German-led corporations have come to symbolize the economic control the Germans possess over our country. With power, it is absolutely necessary that any successful denominator possesses their approval. For if they were to abandon us, we might return to the squalor and misery of the 40s. That certainly would not be good. Work on, I guess, this stuff. I was taking a look at the economy. I can move into this one right over here. Oof. I think I might do a tax cut. That'll increase GDP a little bit. We still got a bit of a surplus going for us, which is quite nice. Oh, you! Get back here now! Shit. Someone had decided to snitch on them to the local police, and now the silk mill was a no-go. One moment it was fine, and the next police were knocking on the doors. Who could have been? She knew that fact that wasn't her. Lizzie, Old Bill, Madge, Harry, or Tom. It left Roy, Harry, Cal, and Bob. It was probably Cal. Ratty little bastard always looked suspicious. Elizabeth ran through the streets, desperately ducking and weaving in and out of the alleyways. She could hear the telltale police sirens nearby, and the rapid movement of police officers. She hadn't seen anyone leave the same way she did, but she could only hope that they were all safe. Well. What's cracking off here, then? Her blood turned to ice as she turned around and saw a ruddy-faced, balding man in a police uniform with a toe-like smile stretched along his face. Shit. Looks to me like you might be running away from something. Mind if you come back to the station and ask a few questions? She spat on his shoes, making his smile turn to a look of seething rage. You stupid little... The officer never got to finish his sentence, as a rather beaten-up old car emerged from behind the officer, knocking him over. Taken aback, Elizabeth only realized who her savior was when she heard Emma calling for her name from the car. She scrambled into the car, and the couple took off into the night. As soon as they were far away enough from danger, Elizabeth hugged her lover as hard as she could. You saved me. God knows what he'd have done. Emma only gently kissed her on the forehead, only briefly taking her eye off the road. Bill contacted me. We got a new place sorted in the old cigarette factory uptown. I'll get us there and we can relax. Elizabeth nodded, falling asleep on Emma's shoulder. How many more of these are there going to be? That's the question, isn't it? Working 9 to 9. Press button, assemble, put on conveyor belt, pull lever, press button, assemble. Put on conveyor belt, pull lever. That was what Ernie Smith spent most of his aching hours doing. Working in a German-owned factory wasn't one of the worst jobs a man could have in Britain nowadays, granted. He thanked his lucky stars that he wasn't one of the poor sods down the mines at least, but the work was still mind-numbing, tedious, and long. So long. He barely had time to sustain himself beyond a light breakfast in the morning and a light dinner when he got home at night. The rest of his free time was spent sleeping. The factory was full of men like him. English, working class, born and bred in London with nowhere else to go. So they just got on with it and accepted whatever the Germans told them to do. Across the room, a sharp and angry voice could be heard. It was Herr Funk, the pudgy-balding overseer. He was scolding one of the younger lads for cocking up the assembly. Ernie felt the hatred he had for the crowds bubbling up to the surface. They're all like that, unforgiving, uncaring, and harsh for no reason. And yet they all got to drive around in fancy cars and wear nice suits, while Ernie and the others got feckle. His wages hadn't changed in the 5 years he'd been working there. Old Bill, who'd been there the longest, had said once that the last time he had a raise was in '54. It was all such a crap situation. But what could someone like him do about it? After clocking out at a shift at 9:30 p.m., he was approached by a man he'd never seen around the factory before. He said he used to work around there before he left and joined a new business. He then went and said aloud everything that Ernie had been thinking that day, about the hours, the pay, the Germans, the whole lot. The mystery man then gave Ernie a leaflet, telling him to come to a meeting that he and his mates had at the pub every week. As the man walked off into the night, Ernie looked closer at the pamphlet, which had an all too familiar phrase emblazoned on the top. Workers of the world, unite. Well, that's pretty good. No, it doesn't look like we're allowed to mess with inflation at all. Which kind of sucks. Could expand their interests, increase their growth, but we lose. Stabilize their growth or expand their interest. We'll get a little bit more growth here, but lose some taxes. I don't think I'd want to lose the taxes. Let's stabilize their growth. I think that's going to be the best bet. Yeah. As any economist can tell you, from Keynesian to Hayekian, the stability of a nation is absolutely necessary for any prosperous economy. With the economic collapse of the 40s and the instability of the 50s, one may be hesitant to call investment in a wise option, with persistent stain of resistance. Thus, to secure continued investment and ensure the profit for both us and the mega corporations, we must move to keep the profit stable and set a line for minimum production. With these moves, we should keep a good, steady flow of capital and continue our economic recovery. And if you say so. I mean, the GDP is slowly going up, which is good. And we got a little bit of a surplus that we can use to pay off the debts. And that's all well and good. Going in the Levant, interesting. That's new. I haven't seen that one before. Huh. Look at that. I don't think I've seen that before. That is interesting. It's got Lebanon doing their thing over here, it looks like. Very, very interesting indeed. Let's get working on... probably the fiscal side of things. Yeah. With the dawn of a new year for Albion, so comes the yearly fiscal report. A review of economic progress we've made, and what more can be done. Unfortunately, despite our great recoveries in Sea Lion and the fall of the Empire, we still suffer from the after effects of the Great Transformation. Alongside the residual economic malaise from the fall of our empire, resistance still plagues our great nation, hampering our efforts to move back the devastation of post-war years. Though this report is primarily for us, we will be sharing this report with our great benefactor, the German Reich, who as our greatest economic ally will be eager to learn about the economic progress we have made. I'm looking forward to them finding out. Hold on. Let's take a second to learn about some stuff in Central England. Start with Birmingham. For centuries, the fire industry is blazed bright in Birmingham. Known as a commercial center of the Midlands, Birmingham breathed life into the Industrial Revolution with innovations such as the Watt steam engine and the world's first mechanized cotton mill. When invaders came to British shores, Birmingham's motor and manufacturing industries rose to the challenge again, producing tanks and guns to stop the Huns' onslaught. It would not prove to be enough. Birmingham's factories were leveled by the Luftwaffe, its streets stomped through by the jackboots of the Heer. The city's flame of industry burns for a new master now, scorching its workers under the ever-growing shifts and the demand from the Reich for more cars, more equipment, ever more. Once crushed by the Germans, the city's factories have been rebuilt to serve them instead, under the guiding hand of Daimler-Benz and Reichswerke. The greedy fingers of the Germans have grasped Birmingham's industry tightly, but they may still find themselves burned by a steep lesson. A fire is easier lit, but it can just as easily burn out of control. I think that's a good place to just leave it off for now. Meanwhile, how's this coming along? It's ticking away. This is taking even longer, strangely enough. We're getting there GDP-wise. Our unemployment... We're failing in really every fucking regard, which is a little annoying. I don't really know what to do here, I'll be honest. Like, is having the state own things better? I don't know. I do not know. It says we could open a pipeline. Well, I don't want to worsen our poverty rate. That sounds horrible. But there's nothing to really boost anything, it looks like. God, this all just looks like... This is all fucking horrible. Why would we want any of this? What does this even do? Does this just increase influence? It looks like it just improves influence. Okay, these could potentially be okay. I mean, I could see the benefits of that, but... Yeah, see, I don't understand this at all, for example. Reichswerke has a lot of shit going over. I think we should maybe... get that out of the way. Maybe, I don't know if this is helping or hurting, I'll be honest. Our inflation went down a little bit more. I think our GDP growth went a little bit better. It seems a new decade has brought with it a new hope. The economy, thanks to the many years of hard work put in by Britain and her people, has finally begun the process of recovering from the disastrous crash of the 50s. We're beginning to see some growth and an increase in trade with the Reich and our other partner states. We receive offers of particular excitement from Group and Volkswagen, who have offered to set up at least 20 more manufacturing plants across the country. This will invigorate the job market, bringing further growth and lowering unemployment. Unfortunately, with the good comes the bad. Whilst resistance activity has declined drastically from what it once was, it is still the plague of the countryside in the innermost areas of the city. Attacks upon public works have increased by 3 times as much from last year, localized particularly around the Midlands and the North. Additionally, these new investments from German conglomerates have tethered our economy ever closer to that of the Reich. While there are some among us who see no issue with this, places their newfound stability at risk should the Reich face any internal issue. This concludes the report. We could meet up with Mr. Bean. That would be pretty funny. State controlled. The monthly population might be better. Well, I mean, everything else looks kind of better, I'll be honest. Well, no faction has control. Weekly chaos gain is decreasing. So falls the golden child. Not quite sure what that means. I think if we increase this, that'll help with our poverty rate a little bit. So I think I might just go with speaking with the unions. Among the BPP, there are very few that are sympathetic to unions, from aristocrats in the House of Lords to the ideologues within the House of Commons. Some, even the pragmatists, can't help it to spit nails when just thinking about trade unions. Rab Butler is one of the lucky or unlucky few that are seen positively by the unions. With this in mind, we shall send Butler to reconcile with the unions, hopefully guiding them away from Jones's cruel grasp. Perhaps with Rab, we can win back the unions from the iron fist of socialism and rip out the infrastructure of the resistance. Let's do some more support artillery. And can we not... We still cannot increase any of these. Fair enough, I suppose. Let's get working on... more stuff in city factories. Oh, Wilhelmina's dead. The Dutch are stuck in Suriname, right? And we also own... Yeah. Yeah, that's right. I remember this now. Strangely interesting. I remember there's gonna be like there's a sub-mod in development, allegedly, that's gonna have some stuff related to this. Isn't there... Don't the Dutch own an island around here too? At least don't they in real life? St. Martin? Or am I getting that mixed up somehow? Where? I do not know. I truly do not know. Anyhow. Did we get our credit rating improved? That is actually huge. Okay, yeah. That is very useful for us. If we keep that going, that'll be very nice for us. I mean, we'll keep running. We have good debt control. We're not running a deficit. We're at peace. Yeah, look at us. This is reminding me that I just need to get working on, like, building credit in real life and, like, other, like, economic real life stuff. But that's not stuff for you guys to worry about. And even if it was, we'd have to wait for next video to do it. But I gotta end it there, folks. But thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, leave a like. If not, feel free to dislike. If you want to see more of this content in the future, Hit the sub button for uploads weekdays as well as occasionally Saturdays. Check out my various links up in the description box below. Leaving comments down in the comment section below if you have any as well. I read all the comments again. Appreciate any feedback you might have for me. Thanks always for watching, my friends. My name has been Mr. Dogboat333. I thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.